they're still doing the same thing though.
Right.
It's like they're doing the same exact thing that they were 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I think
You want to
rather
see
than
growth.
being on the assembly line, like, and not just growth in terms of, I mean, not at all actually, in terms of like, I don't give a shit if your channel has,
No, I just mean
there's
growth.
still people who I watch. Yeah, no. And
Yeah.
I know that, I know that you weren't, but there's still people I watch that I watched in like 2008 on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they still make videos and I'll still watch them.
Yeah.
They've grown and it's
Yeah.
interesting. And I'm like, man, remember when you were like, I mean, that is crazy now. Cause like that is, I mean, yeah, that's almost 20 years ago. And you can literally be like, yeah, remember when you were like, 20 years old, or like, I remember when you were like 18, or like what, like you go all the way back to like these experiences and you followed them. That's something that's totally unique. That's a virtual relationship. I've never met this person. And then there's people that I watched 4 years ago that I can't watch their videos anymore. Cause I'm just like, I don't care. Like I was really into this for like a couple of minutes. And then, so, I mean, you're growing and you're not afraid to show it on the channel.
Right.
And I think that's going to serve you well over time.
Or on this channel.
It's about all
This is
we
where
do
it
here.
all comes out.
That's it. It's about it. I mean, honestly, we should go back and watch one of our videos from a couple of years ago. I don't think we'd like there's no cringe or anything, but
No.
just I think it'd be interesting to look at like,
Yeah.
oh, how are we processing the world at that point and how are we
Right.
processing it now?
And how are we talking about how it's going to impact the work that we do?
Yeah. There's a lot that probably hasn't changed though, but
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, sometimes these, what might seem on the outside looking in as sort of like a micro adjustment on the outside, is a, what did you call it? Minor crisis on the
minor
inside.
crisis.
A micro adjustment on the outside is a micro crisis on the
Minor
inside.
crisis, yeah.
Minor crisis on the inside, So
We've had a lot of minor crises over the last 24 months.
well, and I think that's this is a little corny, but the beauty of friendship and connections with other people is they might challenge your way of thinking. They might introduce you to a new medium. And that community helps you to see things differently, or to see what you are doing more clearly, to go, well, this is what I like about that, and this is what I don't like so much, and I want to move it in this direction.
Which brings me perfectly to my 2025
Bring
goals.
it on. Goals-ish for 2025.
Goals-ish. No, I think I just want more. And that's hard because I'm naturally not really an extroverted person.
Yeah.
I mean, you know this probably pretty well, but I get exhausted really quickly, like in the traditional sense, like in the sense of like how you would describe or define an introvert and extrovert. Like, I truly get exhausted. Like, we'll spend a bunch of time with family or something, and like, I love it, but like I'm actually physically exhausted. I'm like, man, I just need time to like process this or to go and just be by myself. But my life is so much better when I'm around people, and when I'm in dialogue with people, I'm meeting new people, I'm in the world, and so I want to bring more of that into my life. I don't know what that looks like necessarily, but I think that's kind of what I want out of 2025. Is more of that, more ability, like, I want more. I get excited about ideas. Yeah. And a lot of, like, thank goodness, like, the internet's amazing. There's so many ideas. They're at your fingertips or in your ear. Like, I love listening to like podcasts or books or reading books or I can do that stuff all day long, and like watching old documentaries, old movies, like all day long. I love ideas. And I mean, I literally drink from a fire hose, like constantly.
It's true.
And, but I want to kind of ground that even more in the real world and like with my community. Like I want to experience that on a local level. Cause I know there's, what we sit here and talk about isn't special. There's people that probably would be down to get into like the same weeds or get into the same conversations. So I want to identify that more
Yeah.
And
that's one of my favorite sources of ideas or perspectives is from the people in the community, especially
just
that
being in
close
person.
orbit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like just be like, and that's what I want to do. I want to like establish a foundation or like a network, like a localized network of people. That's something I really want to do. That's probably near the top of my list. Mm-hmm. Just in importance and in ambition. There's a lot. There's plenty, right? And there's some things I don't want to talk about. There's some things I do want to talk about, but
can you
just like better positioning myself for. I mean, my goal is always like, what are you like? I think the best work takes time. Mm-hmm. You know, we've talked about luxury and time and but I like that's been a long held belief of mine. It's like the best stuff, whether it's, you know, something you're making or something you're learning about, it takes time. And so just positioning myself with what are those things that I want to go after, that I want to accomplish, and then positioning myself in the proper time, like where the time scale is in front of me, mm-hmm. if that makes sense, like where I've set myself up to you know, have that, like I don't want to be worried about X, Y, and Z. I just want to be able to put my head down and focus on like the things that I do want to put my head down and focus on. So I think just putting myself in a position where those things are maybe frictionless isn't the best word, but close, you know, removing friction from them. I know that sounds really vague and like I'm dancing around something, but definitely that's kind of top of mind.
It had been a golden afternoon, and I remember having the familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the summer.